Making a licensed game is a very difficult proposition if you want to do it right. Trying to find that perfect balance between honoring the source material and actually making a good video game that is fun to play is a delicate process that most studios simply give up on at some point, opting to instead cobble together a game passable enough to make it through the cert process and market it well enough to move enough copies of it to make the whole process worthwhile. But every once in a great while, a game like Transformers Devastation comes along, a licensed game that not only treats its source material with respect, but also manages to be a pretty good game as well. Of course, given the pedigree of Platinum Games, it shouldn't be surprising. Devastation may not be on quite the same level as Bayonetta, but it clones those well-established and extremely well-constructed mechanics on a level that is, at the very least, competent, if not quite well done. The combat system plays out sort of the way you'd expect this kind of game to, and if you've played Bayonetta or Bayonetta 2, it will feel even more familiar, if ever so slightly weaker in execution. You spend most of your time in melee combat, mashing out buttons, you have a weak but useful ranged attack, and there's a super that you can activate every so often. Sadly, it just doesn't feel quite as tight, quite as responsive as Bayonetta or Bayonetta 2 did. But honestly, it does feel better than most hack-and-slash games I've played, and it's still a whole hell of a lot of fun. Or, at least it usually is. The game's biggest problem, by far, like so many games of its ilk, is repetition. The objectives are almost entirely of the go here and hit a button variety, while you fight swarms of generic enemies along the way. Then you fight a few mini-bosses, eventually an end-level boss, and then you're on your way to the next section of the game. Moment to moment, the combat system is both fun and visually interesting, but the environments and enemies within them don't offer the kind of variation you need in order to keep a game like this fresh. But Devastation's biggest asset isn't its gameplay, it's the slavish dedication to the source material. The last Transformer games that people remember fondly are the High Moon games on the 360, and while they were fun shooters, the way they never really honed in on a single generation of Transformers, a single cohesive style for their characters, certainly weakened them quite a bit, especially in the eyes of nostalgic Transformers fans who yearn for G1. And for those people, Devastation delivers in spades. While the most obvious aspect is in place, the visual style, there are a lot of other touches that Platinum has made as well, including bringing in several of the original voice actors.
Scream and watch me tame it as I have tamed.
The game feels like it's an extended episode of the original TV show, with all the campy plot lines and acting you could hope for. As a hack-and-slash action game, Transformers Devastation is merely good. But the extremely smart implementation of the Transformers license isn't just the usual set dressing we've seen over and over again. It is a meaningful addition that actively makes the game better and more entertaining to play. Every Friday, I look at a game that was either ignored when it came out or has been forgotten since. Games that people have missed. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see the latest videos. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button. And thanks for watching.